Hello everybody, I'm going to show you how to make faux suede today. This is the textured background that I've got on these cards. I recently made this card and didn't have any ribbon, and so I just took a piece of red, the same as the designer series paper, and give it a quick crumple and made it look sueded, and then promised that I would show you how to do that. So let's get started. So these are the two cards that I'm going to quickly show you how to do. Because sueding takes a little while, I'm going to show you how to do it, but I've already gone ahead and pre-made the pieces, but I'll show you quickly how you start that. So you take a piece of regular cardstock, and the nice thing about Stampin' Up cardstock is it's really thick. It's got what they call a good snap, and you seem sacrilegious, and you basically just crumple it up. And what you're doing is breaking the fibers inside. So the smaller you can crumple the fibers, the better it will be and the easier it will peel. So just going to crumple it, open it. If there's a little area that looks like it's still fastened together, just keep crumpling it. I suppose it's good if you've had a bad day at work. Ratting. Lucky for me, I do not have those. I have lovely days, and I love my work and I love my stamping. But anyway, everybody gets a frustrating day every now and then, so perhaps it would be a testimony to how many sueded cards I send out as to how fabulous my life's going right now. So anyway, keep crumpling until eventually it will peel apart, she said. You literally just have to keep going until it gives way. And I don't know if you can see this in the video, but it's starting to separate. And because it's got a nice smooth finish on the outside, and like I said, it's really nice and thick cardstock, and more importantly, it's coloured all the way through. Quite often cheaper cardstocks, they've got a coating, and when you get inside, it's not the same true colour all the way through. And really, that is it. If it starts to fall apart, you can just keep pulling it from different sides. And that's it. That's how quick and easy and simple it is. And you can see how it's got a nice fluffiness. Of course, it's now very soft and pliable, which is why it became very handy for making this little piece of ribbon, because it was pliable and bendable. So that's how you do the sueding. Nice piece of cardstock, crumple, 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 peel it carefully, and then you get the sueded pieces. So using said sueded pieces, I'm going to show you quickly how to make a couple of cards. So take a piece of basic grey. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Fold it in half. Give it a nice crisp edge with the bone folder. I've gone ahead and cut some pieces. These two, obviously, I didn't suede. So making sure you've got the sueded side up and the crushed side down. The only thing you have to watch for is, because it's been distressed, oh no, the cardstock is distressed, it will actually be a little bit stretchy. So we'll stick it on the edge and lay it down. Piece of basic white. Pop that on. And a piece of basic black. Oops. And then I took the decorative punch, and I'm going to punch out piece. I punched out one in red and one in black too. And then I am going to line up the points on the cutter in the trough and snip that in half. And I know when I made the last card, I had explained when you fold it in half, you sometimes get these little, well, you will get the edges, but they sometimes show when you come to layer them. So I'm just going to take my snips. Oops. And get rid of them. I'm not going to get rid of all the scraps. But anyway, so then I'm going to take the Happy Birthday from In Your Words, which was a celebration set, which I recently earned. Take the Happy Birthday. It's a cling set, very clingy. And I'm going to attach it to the clear acrylic block, and then using real red ink, I am going to stamp the greeting. Made a boo-boo. I'm really not good at this without sticking my head in the shot, so if it appears, I do apologize. It's just a vain attempt to try and get it to be straight. So, and then it simply peels off and goes back into the box, and it sticks to the inside of the box as well, so it doesn't go anywhere. So I'm now going to put sticky at the back and lining up the pattern, and then again put more adhesive on the back, and exactly the same thing, it's just making it layered. And it doesn't matter that there are big gaps in the back, because we are going to take some dimensionals pop them on, release the backing papers. So of course the sticky on both sides, and then I'm simply going to attach it to the front. I'm just going to check that sometimes the layers overhang the edge, and if they do, that's a quick little fix. Just take your snips and snip it off level with the body of the main card, and there you have it, nicely sueded. It's actually, considering I made the original card that was the inspiration for one for masculine cards, masculine masterpiece, I think this is more masculine masterpiece. So that's the quick and easy masculine card. The next one is more of a seaside theme. So balmy blue, but instead of cutting it at 8.5 by 5.5, I've done it long ways. So it's actually 11 by 4.25, scored at 5.5. It's going to be this way up, so it opens that way. And then I have taken a piece of 5.25 by 4, which will be layered on there, and then again I took some more pieces, crumpled them. So this is the Bermuda Bay and the crumb cake, and I crumpled them and started them, and again, because it's a slow process and you've already seen me do it once, I just left a little bit to finish off, so you could see it's exactly the same method. You just pull gently until you've released all the pieces. So then I'm going to put adhesive on the back side. Stick them down. They are stretchy and they are bendable, so they're pretty flexible to get on. Just really got to line up the edges. I think it's quite an interesting background idea. Oops, folded the corner of that one over. I don't want that to happen. It just gives it a nice, rugged, unusual look. I'll put the last one on. And that's a completely different length, which is weird, seeing as it came from exactly the same pieces. You saw me tear them in half, but I suppose it just rings true to me saying that they can be a little bit stretchy once the fibers in the cardstock are broken. It can sort of compromise the integrity, but we'll go with the loss of integrity for the lovely look that it produces. So that's the base. Actually, you know what, no, I'm not happy with that. I'm just going to snip a little bit of that off because it just seems to have gotten carried away with itself. There we go. I like that so much better. So that's slightly textured, and then we're going to take another piece of balmy blue and a piece of whisper white and do some stamping. And I am going to use the biggest wishes. And we will do a hello. In the Bermuda Bay. Peel that off and stick it back to its little holder, and then we'll take Friend and lay it down. Close the blue, open up the crumb cake, because of course Bermuda blue and crumb cake were the two colours that we used to make the suede. So we'll pop Friend on there, and because it's Bermuda Bay and crumb cake, I thought it had a bit of a beachy theme. So I dug into my paper pumpkin stash and came up from June of 2019 with a lovely little set, which had quite a few beachy pieces in it, and thought that would just do nicely as an extra little embellishment. Because the good thing about the paper pumpkin kits are, once you've used up all the expendables like the cardstock, you're always left with the little stamping spot and the stamp set. It's a fabulous way to make yourself an entire collection of stamps. So I'm going to pop that back on its little place, put the blocks away. Close the ink pad. Those little red pieces are following me. And then I'm going to layer that onto the piece of balmy blue. Stick that on the front of the card. And last but not least, attach this to the main card body. And that's it. So that's 2 cards, quite different, using the sueded method. Again, I'll just quickly bring in the card. This was the one that gave me the inspiration to make the sueded ribbon, which then of course you'll see gave me the inspiration to make the sueded. You can see it, it's really quite nice. So there's another masculine card and a lovely beachy card. So there you go, faux suede. Thank you so much for watching.